So to start us off, one of the first investments is about safety and security and access into the building. So what we're going to do differently at each building is build a different entranceway that would bring in the visitors through the space on the right, through that white wall. And you'd see different safety features with safety glass and integrating in a new Rollins safety and security system. This system is a state-of-the-art system that integrates communications between teacher, administration, district office, police, and fire. It has magnetic lockdowns. It has security, communications between all the systems, and essentially allows the police and fire to know exactly where in the building there's a problem and pull up how to access that, whether we have a student that's hurt or there's active shooter or building intruder situation. It integrates all into our camera system that's throughout the building. So the police work in real time with information. Very few districts have this in the state. This is a new system, and it's a costly system, but it's really state-of-the-art communications and safety for the building. That would go in all 3 buildings. And with that entranceway and safety and security, that's approximately about $5 to $6 million of the referendum. That's where your cost is there. You see,
can I speak to that just a little bit? With the different entryways, you mentioned that many schools don't have it, all schools want it. And it's not just because of the horrifying parts of like active shooter, that kind of thing. There's day-to-day things that happen that you might not realize that are more common than you would think. Like you have custody situations with parents that come in and there may be a little argument in the entryway. There's no reason for a first grader to walk by and see that happening. Right? We'd rather not have that kind of situation. And you never know if that can escalate or not, but there are little things that happen like that that would be better off done in a different kind of a setting. If we could redesign the front entryway, then we would alleviate that kind of system for the children.
That's a great point. And before I go on, do any of you have any questions about that? Here you see an example of what that new entryway looks like. There's also on this the addition. This comes out in Benson, and you see the rooms extended down this wing. It'd be approximately 4 other rooms with that. That's a big. That's also a significant cost with the referendum, but it also allows us to redo the spaces here somewhat over time and build out those spaces in a different way. As you look at this, you'll see this is an example for Franzen of that entryway, how that's redone. Same security system being put in. Here's Benson, and you notice that roof line in that addition looks a little bit different. I'll come back to that. Here's Benson again, where you see that entryway a little bit different. And here's that example where I was saying that roof line looks different. One of the things our architect, DLA, who specializes in school architecture and is also an Itasca business and work nationwide, is they want students to have access to natural light, natural airflow, have an environment where it's quiet for learning, that the sound is controlled for. And so it's building out and opening up those learning spaces in a different way. And that's part of the addition. So you might ask, do we need an addition? There'd be 2 concerns. One of the things that always comes up in town is, oh, do we have enough space? If there's more housing, if there's more residential development, can we keep our class sizes low? Well, about creating that space, we've created a protection against that with our primary center. So we can absorb new students coming in and keep our class sizes low and have enough space here at Benson to do that. Now maybe we would have to do something at Franzen and Peacock too over time, but we have time to do that now. And this is the first space we would want to do that. The other big reason is, let's say we don't have more students coming. Well, 2, when you walk around here, you'll see we're pretty cluttered. We have a lot of stuff in here that we use for teaching and learning, and that would give us a little bit of relief on that. And the other thing is pre-kindergarten services. We only have one room at this point, and we have a long wait list for it. So we could expand our pre-K services. And sometimes with our special needs students, we have to send them out to NEDSEC, which is our co-op. And with NEDSEC, the pre-K students might go to Wooddale or other schools and be bused there. By having space, we could keep more of our special ed students here in the community. And that would be a cost savings for us too, to offer those services here on site. Jessica, what would you add to that?
I would just say that I've been talking to a lot of parents lately about what they would like within the districts, and I think you just mentioned this, but the special needs or special education students that have to be bused out of the district, out of their home area, that's not ideal for parents, and to be able to create more space so we could offer that within the district, I think would really be helpful to a lot of families.
So here we are in the kindergarten wing. We do have a very, very small pre-K program here at Benson, which we would obviously like to expand. The addition would go out from this wall, which would also be a really, really nice natural barrier from the playground. So the playground is a little bit more hidden from the street as well. There would be a secured entryway here, which would go straight out of the playground. So then we're gonna walk this way and we're just gonna walk around to the playground. So the addition will come straight out from this side of the building, and as you can see, it will act as a really nice barrier to keep the playground a little bit more hidden. And we're hopeful that in this wing of the building, not only can we expand pre-K, but we'll also be able to keep some of those special needs students in-house for longer and not have to be bused out into neighborhood schools. So that will be right here at this part.
So one of the things that was part of the planning of the playground was also to include this concrete area, which actually is very thoughtful. It is a bus barrier. So our pickup and drop-off area is here on this hard surface, and prior to the installation of the playground, there was just flat surface straight into the area where the kids played. So they included this as a barrier for the buses. Welcome to the Benson Playground. This playground is not actually a part of the referendum plan. It's just a really good example of what your investment in Itasca can produce. So the playground just opened this fall, but it was created and planned by parents and children and teachers, and there was a lot of thought put into its planning. Even from the entryway, there's an area that actually is planned so that there's a barrier between buses when they get dropped off, for a safety measure. You'll notice that there's AstroTurf down, but this is actually a high-grade padding instead of wood chips. If you walk on it, you'll see how safe it really is. It's more like a gym mat all throughout the playground space. We also have a river, not hot lava, that the students like to pretend they have to stay out of the river. We have some playground equipment that is designed for students with special needs in mind. A lot of variety of play. Over on the far side, there's also what also could be an outdoor learning space, which is a big part of the referendum plan, is to provide more of these outdoor learning spaces for teachers to bring their classrooms outside. The park is open from dawn till dusk, and it's open to the whole community. It's not just for Benson School, and the kids just love it. I was here yesterday afternoon after school, and it was just full of students of all ages and families playing in the park.
We want to talk you through some of the ideas and additions and some changes that we would like to make to our learning spaces. So if you want to step a little bit closer to this one over here, these designs here speak to and show what Mr. Bennis talked about with the Benson Edition and how we would change up the learning spaces and add some different things for our students to collaborate and learn differently. So here you can see 2 learning hubs would be added for some multi-purpose opportunities for students to get together, collaborate, learn. The media center where we are right now would be completely redone. As you can see, it's utilized for other things besides a library. We have some teacher offices in the back over there. Those would be part of the addition where those teachers would get office spaces. And there's a lot of storage utilized. So this whole area here would be redesigned, and some of the pictures here speak to how we could do that with some different choices. Here you can see in blue, this would be the addition that would take place here at Benson, those 3 blue areas. And again, redesigning those learning spaces so we can differentiate for our students and offer some different ways for them to collaborate during their school day. Okay, so as Dr. Weeks said, just like with the Benson Media Center, Franzen will also update their media center to make it more modern, to allow for the flexible furniture and seating arrangements to allow for large group instruction and small group collaboration. Additionally, here at Peacock, if you take a look at this poster over here, we are proposing that we redesign and modernize 3 of our science classrooms. So this will include having the furniture and the flexibility to, again, do large group and small group instruction for collaboration. Right now at Peacock, our science labs are set up with permanent sinks that run straight through the middle of the classroom, so it makes it really hard to design a classroom that allows for that flexibility. Again, with the proposed redesign, it would modernize those classrooms to allow for that collaboration.
This is a great space that is not being utilized, so we'll take you outside in a little bit. It's right out there. So this is as it looks now. This is the section right now that's just kind of a picnic table and grass, and this is the future of it. So for our kids to come outside, do some outdoor learning, get some fresh air, there's spacing, some activities for the kids to do, and I think it looks beautiful and fun. I'd like to go out there and hang out and stuff like that. So this is a great new space for the kids to learn and just hang out for a little bit and get some fresh air and just go outside.
So as you saw inside, this will be the actual space to where the outdoor learning space is proposed to be located. So right now this is a green area that's on our property that is not utilized until this year. Right now we have the outdoor learning tents that are utilized by classrooms for large group and small group instruction. Having this outdoor learning space would allow for that permanent area where we could do large group and small group collaboration. There will also be seating for students outside and a dry erase board. So any type of lesson could be taught out in that outdoor learning space.
So we're the mechanical portion, and wanted to talk about improvements to some of the areas in the district. Several of those being HVA, plumbing, lighting, and just the general structures around the buildings. So first thing is, the HVA systems definitely need an upgrade. One of the reasons obviously would be energy efficiency. A lot of refrigerants as they get older, become more expensive, become less available. So updating those things will give us, cheaper options and more efficient options as well. Machines that are old obviously don't run as well. So updating those will make it more efficient in terms of money, cost. Quieter systems, most importantly, and allow for students to learn without loud univents in their rooms. And the other thing was also safety. It eliminates the need for teachers to open up windows in any case. So with the plumbing, some of our buildings are very old. They were built in the 70s and 60s, and so you have plumbing that's probably been there for that long, and so updating the piping eliminates the need to have techs come out to do things that would take money away from the district. And then lighting. The lighting systems are fluorescents. We have T8s and T12s, and definitely less efficient than LEDs. So upgrading the LEDs will not only make it look nicer, but also have better energy efficiency. And using, when you walk into the room, the lights just automatically turn on, and then when you walk out, after a certain amount of time, they shut off, also saving energy, time, and money. So.
And as a parent, I think it's just really important that the foundation of the school is just more modern. I think it is, it's a great way for the school district to be a little bit more stable with kind of just the basic functions of the program. I mean, we all know this, that any type of mechanics, plumbing, air conditioning, heating issues cost a lot of money when we have to repair these things. So being able to put newer systems in place pushes those big repairs down the road, right. And we can just live with the basic maintenance at this point in time. I love the fact that the new school design has more natural lighting coming in. So when you think about just the general lighting in the building, the LEDs, the automatic sensors, right. Things of that nature, it can help adjust the lighting in there and balance the natural light that comes in. I think, you know, our kids are on screens a lot, and with the bright lights and the screens, it can end up bothering their eyes, and this is a way that we can really kind of balance that and just provide more comfort for the kids. And you actually had even said that the heating and the air conditioning right now is a little more central, and so having it more individualized to the classroom just allows for just, you know, a greater comfort and more security and safety, because we're not opening up windows, we're not, you know, leaving doors wide open and things of that nature. We can just be more comfortable in the classrooms.
Yep, absolutely.